So do you want to intro the episode?
Or we definitely can't start it with that.
That's why I asked if you want to intro the episode.
No, we should definitely start it right here. This is where the episode should start.
All right. I'm definitely going to put the rest of that in there, but that's fine.
Sick. Lawyer. Gonna need you. Millennials Suck Podcast, millennialsuckpodcast.com. From the bump yard. Dylan's here. Say something stupid. Yep.
The rest of the episode is going to be that.
Yeah, it's fair. We don't have a guest. There's not going to be a guest. Suck a dick.
It's fine. We can do what we want.
Yeah, we can.
We don't need a guest. We're just definitely going to show the world why we need a guest.
I mean, I don't think we ever really needed a guest.
I mean, I definitely like the guests
It would just be a really boring podcast for anyone but us. Otherwise.
I don't know. We would say some shit that would definitely be entertaining, just not the whole time.
Yeah, for every fucking 5 hours of content, there would be 20 minutes that's listenable to a regular person.
And you know what? I'd say that's a better ratio than most people would have.
That's true.
We're at least in some top percentage of the people.
Dude, you're like a garage scientist, right?
Yeah.
I'm like a street philosopher. We're basically the smartest dumb people on the planet.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so.
No, we're not. There's way smarter dumb people than us.
I mean,
who do you think the smartest dumb person is? Who do you think the king of the smart dumb people is?
Okay.
Because if we're going by like smartest, it's not the person I would say the king is. So I realize those are two different questions. So answer both.
Okay, so I need to know what you mean by dumb.
There you don't.
Like, so somebody who is smart, so knows stuff about things.
Yeah, one of like the 20 people on the planet that you could classify as smart.
So the dumbest of the smartest people.
No, the smartest of the dumb people. Throw those people in the trash, right? Forget the smart people actually exist. Bring it back to the dumb realm where we live.
Okay. So like, I don't know, like Cat Williams.
You think he's the smartest dumb guy?
I do not.
Would he be the king of the dumb guys? Because I feel like the king of the dumb guys would be Joe Rogan.
For sure.
Joe Rogan,
he's up there.
I don't think he's the smartest of the dumb guys, but he's smart enough and he has access to so much smart.
Yeah.
And he's constantly trying to do smart shit and learn smart stuff. Joe Rogan's the king of the smart dumbs. The smartest dumb has got to be Theo Von.
Oh, God, yeah, for sure.
It's either Theo Von. Honestly, Cat Williams is up there. He's pretty fucking smart for a stupid fuck.
I feel like Bill Burr would have to be up there for me.
Bill's pretty smart for... see, why do we keep going to comedians?
Because they are... Okay, like, in order to be funny about the world, you have to be intelligent enough to not only understand it, but understand it enough to make a joke that makes sense and actually is funny. That takes a pretty high bar of, like, minimum intelligence.
That's fair. I don't know. Larry the Cable Guy went pretty far. And again, that was a bit, though, so we don't know how smart or dumb that dude was.
The actual dude who played Larry the Cable Guy was not that dumb. He didn't have that accent either. He was from Maine.
And look, you have the rest of that blue collar tour was fire. You know what I mean? You have Jeff Foxworthy, who's a record-breaking comedian.
Yeah.
Ron White, who's undeniably the king of the South and a legend, definitely on the Mount Rushmore of the current Renaissance. And then you have Bill Engvall, who's Jeff Foxworthy's bestie. So like,
how do you feel about Bill Engvall's comedy?
He's hit or miss with me. He does this thing where it's kind of like he like wants that like wholesomeness that Jeff Foxworthy has. Mm-hmm. So he like doesn't swear a lot. And he talks about God a lot, which is something that Jeff Foxworthy did in his later comedy a bunch. And like, the problem that I have is that it's really just his life and Jeff Foxworthy's style with his own catchphrases. Like you can tell that he just everything he does, he modeled after Jeff Foxworthy. Mm-hmm. So his style just feels so generic to me. It also doesn't feel authentic to me. I don't get the same like genuinely like wholesome vibes that I get from Jeff Foxworthy. So it just feels just disingenuous. But he does have some good jokes.
Definitely has a few of them that
I never liked Larry the Cable Guy, and I'll shoot any man that said I did with a Nerf gun because violence is not acceptable.
I liked Larry the Cable Guy because he blew up in a time before I had a grown-up brain. And it was just, like, looking back on it now, it was how ridiculous it was for me. Like, the caricature of redneck made that funny for me. And also I was friends with John Hughes.
Oh, true.
So, like, it was like I got to see...
The band episode.
I got to see... you know, Larry the Cable Guy's jokes in like human form. You know what I mean? Like the character he was being, that's John Hughes' family.
Yeah.
So
this is basically the people John Hughes grew up with.
Yeah.
That's John Hughes' brother, honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
He comes up on my people you may know on Facebook, right? And he just has that one mirror picture with the mullet and like a dirty work t-shirt and a flush face, just
Hell yeah,
every time
dude.
I see it, I laugh.
Hell yeah.
Like I laugh at, like not at him, but at him.
It's funny.
You know what I mean? Like I'm like, okay, that's a funny picture, dude. Unless it looks old as shit. Like it looks like he took it 7 years ago.
Yeah, probably did.
But anyway, what were we talking about?
Israel, Palestine.
No, you definitely weren't talking about that.
Larry the Cable Guy and like the blue collar comedy tour.
Nah, like the crazy part was like when you listen to Ron, because Ron White, the first time I'd ever heard Ron White was through that blue collar shit.
He was my favorite,
and he was my favorite too. But like his style was so watered down for that. Because he's
a raunchy comic.
They had both of those tours. Those were the like up to that point, and then he had another special come out through Comedy Central later. It was very, very different.
Yeah.
So like he was just kind of like, not saying pandering, he was just fitting the bill for the reason why he was on the tour. But he was just kind of like leaning more towards the blue, like the southerner part of him, which is part of who he is as a person. So it's not like it's disingenuous. He's just leaning further into it for those tours. And then after those tours, he was like, I'm famous now.
Yeah.
Back to being me. And he is, in my opinion, the best out of all four of them.
I agree.
I will never shit on Jeff Foxworthy. First of all, I grew up on Jeff Foxworthy and I love that man. He also is statistically like, because when we talk about like sale, like when we talk about like art or stuff like that being like when we talk about the entertainment business, it's all subjective, but like the only thing you can look at objectively is like money made and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Records
tickets sold
and stuff
and all
like
that shit.
And Jeff Foxworthy was breaking records in the 90s, boy.
Yeah. And into the 2000s, because the blue collar comedy tour was in
back
the 2000s.
at the height of like CDs, like when like comedy albums would come out on
like
CDs.
02, 05 ish.
Yeah. When those were at their highest, he was crushing in like the late 90s. Crushing. So I fucking love Jeff Foxworthy. Just towards the end of his career, he got to like, I'm a dad and Jesus.
Definitely got way more family oriented.
And I just, not that that's anything wrong with it. I don't like those comics because I don't relate to those comics. It's like Jake and I have a problem with comics all the time because he likes dad comics.
Yeah.
And I like some dad material, but I'm not a dad. So comics that are just dads don't do it for me.
And I mean, like, even if you are a dad, like, I just like edgy comedy in general. I like dark. I like more, like, not necessarily shock value, but I do enjoy some, like, when you say stuff, like, I agree totally with, who is the black comedian that passed away? He's
Gwen Stefani.
Yes.
You talking about Patrice O'Neal?
Patrice O'Neal. When he said
one of the goats.
half the crowd should be laughing, half the crowd should be horrified. That's when you're doing it right. And I that comedy is my favorite comedy.
I like, obviously I like edgier comedy, but like it doesn't have to be edgy for me.
No, it doesn't have to be.
Like Nate Bargatze is one of my current favorites. Like my current of the active comics is one of my favorites. Mm-hmm. He doesn't swear at all. His entire like shtick is just being like a sarcastic, dry person.
Yeah.
And it's fucking hilarious. He's one of the, in my opinion, one of the the current funniest active comics right now.
Yeah.
So like, I don't need the edge, but like, if I have to choose between an entirely like wholesome family oriented comic and just a completely dirtbag comic, I'm gonna go with the dirtbag every time.
It's just my favorite. Like, don't be wrong. Like James Acaster, another great example.
I fucking love that man. He's just weird. He's just goofy and weird. That's
awesome.
It.
And it doesn't.
Realistically, he's just silly. I've been watching this dude for a minute. I killed one already. Slowly starting a war at the bump yard.
All right, thanks for that.
You're welcome. I wasn't trying to get it on
He's
you.
on me now and panicking.
Well, I flicked the shit out of him, so if he's alive. Is that the one that was so fast earlier? That one's superhuman, dog. Yeah. There was 2 of them in that cup, right? And one of them was at the bottom of the cup, and the next thing I knew, it was on the top of the cup, and I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And then I just lost it. I was like, this thing is gone. This is literally, I think it drank whatever was in that cup and got stronger.
For anybody who can't see what just happened, ant.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very large ant.
Yeah, we're starting a war. We're buying materials. Don't worry about it. We got it figured out.
But no, like I just recently got super into Sam Morrill.
He's funny as fuck.
He is awesome. I love that dude.
You know who I've been getting into lately? Dan Soder.
I love Dan Soder too.
I love Dan Soder, dude. Have you seen his newest special on YouTube?
No.
He talks about how his dad never paid child support. And in like the end of 97, they made it a law where you go to jail for not doing it. And he died like 2 or 3 months before that.
Oh.
He was like, dude, he meant that shit.
Yeah.
Plus, Dan Soder's a wrestling fan.
Like,
so.
Is he the one that made the joke about, it might be in the same bit, because I think I saw a clip of it where he's like, people say they're sorry about my dad dying. And I'm like, why? It's exactly how he wanted to go, dude.
Yeah, it might have been the same bit. I don't know. But he's definitely like, cause I saw the one on HBO and the one on YouTube on the same day. So I don't remember which is which. But I've liked him a lot lately. Who else? There's one dude. I don't know who it. God damn it.
We got the internet.
That's not what I'm goddamming. He brought reinforcements.
Bro, they're everywhere.
All right, fuck it. Try not to let my ADHD notice them. What are we talking about?
You were trying to remember the name of a comic that you've been...
not Chris Red, because I've been a Chris Red fan. I don't know. Some dude that I keep seeing at the like clips from the Laugh Factory. Like there's one where he was burped as fuck. There's one where
burped as fuck.
Twice as fuck, actually. There's one where there's a dude in the front row and he comes out and he has the dude play Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana.
Okay.
And everybody in the crowd is going crazy singing along except the one dude in the front that he played it for who was wearing a Nirvana shirt. He's like, this motherfucker doesn't know one word to that song. He's wearing the Nirvana shirt. He doesn't know a single word. It's so funny. I remember that dude's name, but I've been seeing a lot of clips of him, and I want to get into his shit more. I've also been getting into Brian Simpson a lot lately.
I don't know Brian Simpson.
Brian Simpson, he has a special on Netflix. It's super good. But he came up. It's actually the first comedy special ever filmed at the Mothership.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he came up off of Kill Tony, I think. Or like in that group.
Like one of the bucket pools?
I don't know if he's one of the bucket pools, but I know that he came up in that group. Like,
gotcha.
Like he's like heavily endorsed
friends
by
with
like
him
Tony
and
Hinchcliffe and Joe Rogan and them. Him and Joe Rogan also had an excellent podcast together. At this point, I kind of only listen to Joe Rogan's podcast when there's comedians on, UFC fighters, or like a specific person that I think would have a cool conversation with. Terrence Howard. I watched the whole Terrence Howard thing. I watched Terrence Howard shit.
Did you watch when he was on there with Weinstein?
Yes.
Yeah. And Weinstein
such an unfortunate name. Such an unfortunate name for such a generally cool guy.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
I fuck with Eric Weinstein so much because he's so like
anti-establishment science.
Yeah.
But still one of the best scientists out right now.
He's so fucking smart. Dude.
Yeah.
Like, and I love the way he talked to Terrence about the whole thing. Because he wasn't like coming at it from like I'm going to belittle this person. It was, I'm going to tell this person why they're wrong, but I'm also going to teach them how to present their correct information so they don't insult anybody before they get a chance to actually be listened to by anyone who can make their work matter.
And I like that he was like, see, I like everything you said up to that point, and I think that's the part that you're fucking up. Because you're just wrong. But everything you said up to that point, I'm like totally cool with.
Nah, Terrence Howard is, I put him in the same category I put Cat Williams in. Like, as far as he, like Terrence Howard's relationship with being a genius is Cat Williams' relationship with being honest. You know what I mean? It's like you're just enough, right? Where we're like, hey, he could be onto something.
Yeah.
But then once the newness of the real stuff you said wears off, we finally hear back the crazy shit you said, and we're like, hold on a second.
Yeah.
You do what now? You can invent an equation. Like, you can't just be like, this explains this. That's not how math works.
Yeah.
But when you're hearing him explain it, you're like, bro, I didn't even know Terrence Howard was smart, dude. I just thought he was Black Iron Man. I thought he was Black Iron Man and got fired. I don't know.
And like you said,
not talking shit. I love Terrence Howard.
If you sandwich nonsense between a couple of things that are kinda right, your nonsense sounds a lot more credible.
Dude, like Terrence Howard's the science community is Cat Williams' Illuminati. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the best way I can think to describe it.
So, on the Cat Williams side of things, do you think that there is some sort of conspiracy when it comes to like putting black actors in dresses and stuff, or do you think that's just a funny thing that Hollywood likes to do?
I think that's kind of like, what do you call? Remember when the train derailments were happening and everybody was super focused on how many train derailments there were without realizing that it's less than they've had at any other point in history up to this point? Yeah. What's that called?
Groupthink.
But you know what I'm talking about? Like, I think it's the same effect. Like, what were we talking about? What'd you just ask me?
So, like the black men in dresses thing.
So we look at, super famous black men that get asked to be put in dresses, this and that. Cool. First of all, that was like a very basic comedy trope in the 90s. So if you go back and look at movies that were white produced and white movies and stuff like that, how many men were there in dresses? It was just a classic comedy trope. Do I think that the whole thing is just an attempt to demasculate the black community or emasculate the black community? By no means do I believe that. Do I think that, black people get fucked over by white people in the movie industry? Yeah, for sure. Especially up before this point. You know what I mean?
And I think there's still something to be said about like the classism there, where it's like, plenty of actors of all races and genders get fucked by Hollywood. Hollywood is a fucking monster.
It's a machine.
Yeah.
It's a gross industry. Yeah. Honestly, like, that's the crazy thing. 'Cause you grow up your whole life being like, no matter whether it's your goal or your dream or you're doing anything about it or not, you're just like, dude, being in Hollywood would be so cool. All these beautiful people, all this fame, all this money. And then you're like, as an adult, as like a reasonably classed person, an average guy, you just look at it and you go, would it really be worth it? Like the money for sure, but everything else, like that looks exhausting.
It's a lot. And it was interesting too, because like there was, especially looking at like the past like 5 to 10 years, where there's been like that swing back where like, things have been racist. We know that there's been like unequal treatment and, systemic racism and all that. And then there's been this cultural swing back to try to be more inclusive and all that. And one of the guys that I bartend with, he went to school.
His name Jeremy?
No. Oh. He went to school out in New York, and he was an actor, and he went to like acting school. He like did dance and all kinds of stuff. Like, dude's a triple threat. He's fucking great. He can sing. Very good at it.
That phrase. Sorry. Remember when I used to live with Christian and we weren't cool then, but remember me telling you when I used to live with those dudes, Christian and Tyler, the married couple?
I don't think so.
Okay. So long story short, I worked with a dude, when I worked for AWP, and then we worked together and we shared a truck every day. So we just decided to get a place together. So it was me, him, and his husband. Okay. And his husband referred to themselves as a triple threat all the time.
Gotcha.
And then, like, he said it so much, and he worked as a receptionist at a daycare. And it's like, bro, honest work. I'm not disrespecting you, but you're not a triple threat if you just singing and dancing in the house. Like, you're not. You're just a guy who can sing, dance, and whatever the fuck the other part is.
Yeah.
Act.
Yeah.
Whatever, dude. You're not a triple threat. You're just a guy. You're just a receptionist at a fucking daycare. relax. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not disrespecting people who work at daycares. I mean, there's a lot to be said about the daycare industry.
That's for sure.
But I'm not disrespecting daycare employees. What I am saying is that you can't refer to yourself as a triple threat 65 times a week if you spend 40 hours behind a desk answering phones. I'm sorry, you can't do it.
You're not out here triple threatening.
Also, why does a daycare need a receptionist?
I mean, you got to have somebody that works the front desk.
To be like, oh, kid, come get this kid. Give us that kid.
You got to sign people up, take credit cards, and get contact information.
Plausible deniability because your back's to all the abuse. It's the best place to be if you're going to work there.
I mean, see,
unless you're super into hurting kids, in which case just work for the daycare. I guess.
Maybe you should strive to be a daycare.
I don't want to hurt kids. No.
I'm saying you have the one, like you're the one with your back to the abuse.
Well, I am really good at ignoring other people's pain.
You'd be a perfect daycare receptionist.
Free applesauce,
bro.
I would steal some. If I worked at daycare, I would steal so much applesauce. Like it would be like they would legitimately be like, dude, we're gonna fire you. Like you've taken $300 worth of applesauce in 2 weeks. It's like, don't have $300. You know, you wouldn't put $300 worth of crack in front of a crackhead and be like, don't smoke it. You know what I mean? Don't put me in front of applesauce. I'm fat. What do you think's gonna happen? It's applesauce.
It's fucking delicious.
Applesauce is among my favorite things in the world.
It's really good.
Applesauce and like fucking puppies. The love of my dog and applesauce get me through. Hey, I kind of. Let me get a sign. It's like, live, love, apple sauce.
Honestly,
live life, live, laugh. What's the fucking
live, laugh, love,
live, laugh, love, live, laugh, applesauce.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
Because applesauce and love are the same thing.
But no, I was saying,
sorry.
No, it's cool.
Listen. Full disclosure for our listeners, I've been on a lot of medication for a few days now. My brain isn't working, so
this episode's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be ridiculous, is what it's gonna be.
But no, so my friend was going, like my bartender / friend,
Jeremy.
Sure. So he was going to school out in New York, and he's got some stories you could tell. He wants to come on the podcast. He doesn't have anything to like promote, but he is just a good, cool dude to talk to. So he was going to school out there to be an actor and graduated from like, you know, because you start the process of getting an agent and trying to get spots. Mm-hmm. And he was like telling this story, like I was super excited to start that part of my career, like getting an agent working for me, getting me auditions, and trying to get my foot in the door in this industry.
Does Jeremy have abs?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a very handsome man.
He's got a chance.
Yeah, he's a very handsome man.
Is he the one that bought you that wine?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I was going to say, pieces are starting to come together. If the person who called themselves a triple threat and bought you
He doesn't call himself
wine.
A triple threat. I'm calling him a triple threat.
Oh, you called him that?
Because he is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, he legitimately is a fantastic dancer, a fantastic singer, and I haven't seen him act, but I've watched him do like little just like jokey skits, like become characters behind the bar, and he is good at it.
When did you see him dance?
He dances behind the bar constantly. Oh. We have music playing at the bar.
Has he ever twerked on you?
Probably.
All right.
I've twerked on him for sure.
I would love to watch you try and twerk, like for real. Like I want to see you like.
Bro, I do the Tina twerk for sure.
No, I want you to like legitimately like put all of your knowledge of physics into an attempt to genuinely twerk your ass.
I don't believe in myself. I don't think I could do it.
So much money for that.
I don't think I could do it. I'll try.
I don't think you could do it either, but we should film it.
I'll give it an honest try.
Just make it a short on TikTok. Clip this and then just add the fucking shit out.
What if I'm really good at twerking though? Like, what if I try it and I'm like, and we're like, bro, that was a fine twerk.
Bro, you reverse engineered an entire goddamn pneumatic system without ever seeing it. I'm done trying to figure out what you can and can't do.
But like, so he gets his agent and he has like his first phone call with his agent. And like, this whole story is coming from, again, like, things used to be racist, and then there was this like swing back where the industry really tried to like pander to minority groups in general. And, you know, not saying whether that was right or wrong.
This sounds like the beginning of like a woke American History X reboot. Sorry, continue.
He said
it's like these fucking minorities are taking all the acting jobs.
Well, no, like that was part of what Hollywood was trying to do.
He took her job.
But no, this story is an example where he got an agent, and his first phone call with the agent, they said, "Yeah, we're happy to hire you. We would have been like much more excited to hire you if you were black, but we're happy to have you on." It's like,
that's what directors and football coaches have in common.
He was like, "Dude, I'm just out here trying to make it. Like, why does that matter at all? And like, why would you say that even? Like, even if you think that,
you're
why
cool,
would you
be cooler if you were black."
Like, why would you say that to me?
I'm going to start saying that to my friends. Just be like, dude, you're a good guy. I like hanging out with you. It'd be cooler to hang out with you if you were black. And then you could call me the N-word and I would feel warm and bubbly inside. I have enough black people to call me that. I've no white people that would call me that right now if they saw me. So, we played. Oh, yeah, they're all at the Gathering. By the way, that's where all the white people that say the N-word gather every year.
Okay,
I thought it was for Juggalos. I thought it was for Juggalos. Turns out it was just for white people that use the N-word.
All right, tell me about your gathering of the Juggalo 2024 experience,
bro. It was chaos from the moment we got there. Like, okay, so. This is one of the moments I wish I didn't throw my phone across the room. No, okay. So for the listeners, I went up to the Gathering of the Juggalos with Young Mosh. I ran merch for him just for the fucking lols. It was worth it. Anyway, so we got there and we pull in, right, to what we think is just the entrance. And as we're like slow pulling and looking around, trying to figure out where to go, this dude just walks up to the car. And Alex goes, "Hey, man." He goes, "Hey, what's up? Can I help you?" And he goes, "Yeah, we're artists. We're playing today. We're trying to figure out where we're supposed to go." He goes, "All right, just go up all the way to the gate. When you see the guys in the orange shirt or the green shirts, just give them one of these." And the dude goes, right. "Oh, okay, thanks. Where do I do with my credentials or whatever the fuck?" And the dude goes, "I don't fucking work here, dude."
Okay.
So yeah. So we just start pulling all the way down this fucking road, right? And as we're going, there's this whole like kerfuffle about like getting where do we get our passes to get inside, this, that, and the other. And during this back and forth, we have seen like 5 different cars, right? And this dude just keeps walking up to him and then just be like, "Go do some shit." And then he'd just be like, "I don't fucking work here." He did it like 5-6 times. He tried to do it to us again when we were leaving because we went in the wrong way. We had to turn and go into a different entrance. He tried to do it to us when we were driving out.
Did he have like a uniform on?
No,
anything.
He had a cutoff. He honestly looked like he was working a parking lot.
Okay,
like you know what I mean? Like he had no shirt on, but it was like tied around his neck, and he was wearing like jeans and a bandana. Okay. So he was like, or no, he was wearing a t-shirt. I'm sorry. So he's just wearing like a regular, like, I probably work here. You know what I mean? He looked like he would work for the Juggalos. Turns out he doesn't. The people that work for the Juggalos wear these like red, like polo things. It's later in the story.
Okay.
But yeah, this is within the first hour of us getting there. We've had to like pull in and pull around this little fucking dirt road, but it's like we have the trailer and shit. It's a fucking clusterfuck. Yeah. And then we finally get inside. They give us all access passes, which was cool. They gave us a trailer. We brought one with us, but they gave us another one. And it was across from Isham, who is a horrorcore legend. I met him twice, and I saw his set from Side Stage. And then Wes and I, at one point, got high, went on a little date. And then we just got really drunk and went and got on these really probably poorly put together carnival rides that were...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We watched Isham from a Ferris wheel. It was pretty cool.
So wait, the Gathering includes, like, fair rides, too?
Yeah, and they're free. Dope. They have like little carnival games and shit, completely free.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if the carnival games are free. That might be a lie, but the rides were free. It's crazy. Like you get there and it's like, so they do it where they do Lost Lands.
Okay.
And there's a real big stage. And then there's like the viewing area. And then there's this big hill. So they put all the vendors and merch tables and stuff on the hill. And then, like, somewhat back from the stage, they have, like, the carnival rides and the games and shit. And then they have some space for the crowd and then the stage. And we get there, and we're waiting for an hour and a half after they finish sound checking to set up merch. We finally get there and it's up the hill. And from that point, I was just in people watch mode, right? Here's just a couple of things I saw, right? I saw a paraplegic woman's breasts.
Okay.
You know how like, you know how when you see someone in a wheelchair, there's like a certain posture that you can tell like this person has or does not have function after a certain point in their body because they have that weird angle they always sit in.
Yeah.
Hips down at least, right?
Yeah.
Just in a wheelchair rolling around, tits out for the Juggalos, dude. There was this dude walking around with nothing on except for boots and a hat, dick all out. Just walking around, Prince Albert. People were stopping him, asking him about the piercing. Not to mention, scale of 1 to 10, how good of parents do you think Juggalos are on average?
I don't want to make umbrella statements.
Neither do I, because I actually met a lot of really nice people at the gathering.
Yeah.
Realistically, some people just take it way too far, and they're the ones I'm going to make fun of.
Those people.
But we met a lot of really cool Juggalos at the gathering. I'm not trying to shout out to the Juggalos. They turn up. They turn the fuck up, dude. Right. But yeah, so the reason why I ask is because there were several children at the gathering of the Juggalos, which is just, hey, let's do drugs at this godless fucking land where the police will not talk to you if you're walking around with a nitrous tank because they don't want to fuck the money up.
Yeah.
Which is the thing. We're sitting at the merch table and Alex is just trying to make conversation with everybody, trying to get people to come watch them when they play. And this dude walked up with an entire, he was walking past with his entire thing of nitrous. Just out in the open.
Hell yeah, dude.
It had like a little, like a mechanism at the top where it's sealed, and then when you just push your thumb in it, you just fucking, and you're done. And Alex just goes, hey, what's that feel like? And the dude walks up, just hands it to him. Alex goes, oh no, I gotta perform. Maybe later though. And the dude keeps talking to him about it. He said, you guys can come watch us play, blah, 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 blah. He's like, yeah, for sure. Cool. He's like, and maybe afterwards. The dude walks away. He comes back 20 minutes later. He goes, and he sees Alex. Alex goes, hey, what's going on, man? And the dude walks back over and offers it to him again. And he said, no, speaking of nitrous, fucking Wes and Max's dumbasses. There was this camper that had a whole bunch of nitrous, and they were giving away, like they were selling balloons.
Okay.
And everybody's fucked up at this point. We're just venturing around. The whole thing is over. Like, we're just kind of like, figuring out the after party, which, by the way, is when the real gathering starts.
Oh, okay.
Like real
after all the shows are done?
The real gathering happens after the music ends.
Okay.
I learned this on day one, on a Wednesday evening. Juggalos their gathering starts when the headliner ends. Like, we watched each time, everyone's like, cool, yeah, cool. And then it's just a fucking rager, dude. Until like 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. They had a morning meditation, bro. Sorry, I know I'm telling everything all over the place, but it was just such an experience. We get up and we're like getting ready to like start getting stuff together and start getting ready to leave. And I just hear, morning meditation, ninjas. Wake up and drink some water. I was like, that's not meditation, but also good on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, I ate so much ham, dude. They actually were making fun of me for how much ham I ate. We had catering passes.
Oh, hell yeah.
And they had ham. So I ate the shit ton of it.
For sure.
And I've been smoking and drinking all fucking day. So I was like, yeah, obviously I'm going to eat all the ham. I went up there to get a cookie, and then I saw there was only 3 pieces of ham left and took them, not because I wanted to eat them, because I had to struggle to eat one of them, and I threw the other 2 away in the trailer. I just wanted to be like, yeah, I took the last 3 pieces of ham at the gathering. You know what I mean? I just, like, for me, like, that was like, yeah, I was at the gathering to the last 3 pieces of ham from catering. Don't worry about it.
Hell yeah.
I was just really hoping to see, like, Shaggy Toot Up come out, like, where's the fucking ham, dude? And just be like, oh, shit. Fuck the guy who ate it, bro. We should find him and kill him. You know what I mean? That's how I became friends with ICPs. I helped them hunt down a ham killer or a ham burglar. I think I just did a thing.
You did a thing.
There's some stuff there.
Yeah.
But anyway, the kids thing. There's kids. There's like, for every like one family you see, there's like you'll see like one kid and then like 100 people. So if like it was like 1 in 100. But that's way more kids than should be at the gathering of the Juggalos. I accidentally stumbled upon a Miss Cheeks competition.
A Miss Cheeks? Is this like wet t-shirt with ass?
It was like a ass/twerking competition. Okay. We believe they hired some strippers for this event, which that would make sense. Well, but we also believe that the woman who won was not paid to be there, and she was not attractive, but she was twerking her ass off. And she won, and we think that she's just a juggalette that was just there to turn up, and she'd just be throwing it back.
You put professionals in here. You snuck professionals underneath, and I still beat them.
They had a rave, right? Mm-hmm. And we got side stage for everything. So they had a rave. I wasn't there for this, but they had a rave, and this chick got up on stage during the little rave and then shoved a rubber duck into her asshole while a sea of juggalos just chanted, "Booty duck, booty duck, booty duck." I'm not playing. They had a wrestling ring set up, and I'm salty that I wasn't here for this. My drunk ass thought that I got abandoned. So I was just like, I just hang out here then. You know what I mean? Fuck you guys. If you don't want me around, I won't come around. Then I was retold the story the next day, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that now. But like, they set up a wrestling ring, and then they had like an actual like tag team match happen. I guess there was some like indie wrestling company, whatever, tag team champions there, and they had an open challenge.
That's fun.
Wes couldn't find a partner. He was going to go do it. I was like, dog, I was in a trailer watching YouTube videos. What was I doing? Me and Wes could have had an impromptu wrestling match at the fucking gathering of the Juggalos.
That would have been amazing.
Oh my God. So what had happened was I was eating those last pieces of ham, and Wes was like slumping, like he was trying to like, he's getting sad boy.
Yeah.
And we were trying to rally him. So we finally got him, but I had just sat down and started eating this ham. Alex goes, finish your fucking ham. And as soon as you get done, give us a call. We're going to go back out there. Get Wes's energy back up. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll get a hold of you. They walk out, and then something about like eating that ham made me just go, oh, fuck. I guess I'll just hang out here for a little while because I don't know where anybody is. So, and mind you, I'm drunk as fuck at this point. And later, Jeezy comes in, and I'm just chilling with my ham. And he goes, oh, we're about to make some potatoes. Do you want some? I was like, oh, no, I'm good. I didn't even want this ham. He goes, then why are you eating it? And then I told him the same thing I just told you about like the last 3 pieces. And he's like, okay. Same response you had, you know? And anyway, he goes, and I was sitting there talking to him, and he was, you know, we were just chatting back and forth. And he goes, you know, you can sleep in here if you want. Like, there'd be more space for you in here than our trailer, because I was in the one they gave us. And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess I could just do that. I'll just sleep in here. And then I just went, all right, that makes sense. So I just got comfortable after he left and just like hung out in bed for like an hour and a half and then went to sleep. So I didn't get to get into a fucking impromptu tag team wrestling match with Wesley Merritt at the goddamn gathering of the Juggalos, which would have been the greatest experience of my fucking life because I would have turned heel immediately and beat the shit out of him. All I was saying all day, because we were backstage waiting on the handler to come get us for merch when they were setting up the wrestling ring. I was like, good chance I get on that ring at some point when no one's looking. Yeah. And all night, all I was saying is, Wes, I want to fight you on that wrestling ring so bad. Like when we were on the hill selling merch, we could see the stage, but they looked like little big guys, but we could see the stage. And all we could see was the stage and the things people were throwing at them, which is a thing at the gathering. Like that's how they check and see if artists they don't know are cool. They like fuck with them when they're on stage and see how they react. The boys went with it, so they were like really into them. Alex caught a Faygo and a beer out of midair. Somebody was shooting those like little gel blaster pellets, you know, like little lightweight airsoft guns that are around now, up at them. They were shooting Nerf guns at him. They made Wes show them his asshole. Yeah, they were chanting, "Show me your asshole," and he did it. Because he's a great performer.
Yeah.
Dude, and this is just stuff that's coming off the top of my head because all my notes are in my phone, and I left my phone over there.
Get it?
So, nah, I'm just gonna keep going because like there's so much. There was a dude just walking around selling butt plugs, like a dude that sells hot dogs at a ballpark.
Okay.
Like he had this box. He had this box, and he was just walking around. Butt plugs.
Get your butt plugs.
Butt plugs. Butt plugs, yeah, butt plugs. He was doing that, I swear to God. And there was another dude who was selling edibles for charity, but I didn't find that out because I refused to talk to him because he was walking around with this box that just said, "Smell my box." Also, everyone has a megaphone. Everyone. They just walk around and through megaphones the whole night. Like every third person had a megaphone.
That sounds annoying.
Oh my God, it's hilarious. We were right next to a weed merch booth. So like he had one and he was selling $50 ounces. So people would just come spend their money on $50 ounces and not buy merch from me. They made a custom shirt just because they thought they would sell out here and they did not. Oh my God. The Gathering of the Juggalos is wild, bro. I was explaining it's like I said to your mom earlier, like no rational, like reasonable person should have any desire to go to the Gathering, right? If you don't like the music, you have no reason why you should be there because they're not, you're not going to have a good time. But if you enjoy chaos and nonsense and some of the most pure cringe you've ever seen in your life, you got to go to the Gathering of the Juggalos.
So it sounds like I'd have a good time being there.
Oh my God, dude.
I'm not going to enjoy the music. Like maybe some of it. Maybe
some of it's all right. Well, some of the non-Juggalo artists are all right. Like I like Isham a lot. Like I don't listen to him heavy, but like it was really cool to be side stage for a in some lane music legends fucking set. Also, did I tell you I met Violent J already?
No.
Yeah, I was very brief. I said hi to him, and then Alex started talking to him, and I was like, I'm not.
Was this at the Gathering or a different time?
No, it was at the Gathering. It was during Isham's set. I was waiting on Wes so we could go on our little date, and it was basically a little date. We did some shots together, we chugged some drinks together, and then we just went riding around the fucking festival for a little bit together, and then we just went and got on some carnival rides. We smoked a blunt on carnival rides, which you should do if you ever get the chance. But you can only do that at the Gathering because what reasonable Ferris wheel operator is going to be like, yeah, you can smoke weed in front of these children?
I don't know. It's legal now, so
fair point.
I don't know how strict.
Let me rephrase that. We weren't hitting pin. We were passing a blunt back and forth. Somebody was, I guess, Wes informed me of this the other day when we were at their house for the party. I guess somebody had said something to them that night about how we were smoking right in front of a kid, and then Wes's argument was, why is your kid here? I'm not the person in the wrong. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. You have one of those little Viking ships. Me and Wes are just passing a blunt. He's making fucking Snapchats. We just smoking weed on a fucking Viking ship. We're on a carnival. Like honestly, it was super cool to see Isham set from the top of the fucking Ferris wheel, though. That sounds fire. Cool. Yeah, that was fire. Let's see. I'll look at my list real quick, and we'll get off it onto something else. Oh, there was a wicked Elvis, as I took to calling him. It was a Juggalo Elvis dress up guy. He was cool as fuck.
Juggalo Elvis.
Oh, we were 2 booths down from this chick who had a sign that said $5, $5 mommy dom. And it was, you could get spit on, stepped on, or slapped for $5 by this really tall, pretty attractive goth chick. There was another chick walking around who was wearing very revealing outfit, which was the theme of the evening for both men and women alike. Also, real quick, shout out to the Juggalos for being super accommodating to the LGBTQ community, because there was a lot of LGBTQ community people represented there.
Cool.
Well, more not
like non-Juggalo, or
no, definitely Juggalo.
Okay,
you don't go to the Gathering if you're not a Juggalo. You know what I mean? You might listen to some certain artists if you're not a Juggalo. You know what I mean? But if you're not a Juggalo or a friend of a Juggalo, you're not going to the Gathering, dude. It's literally just Juggalos. It's kind of impressive, but it also explains why everything from the top organization down to the bottom is crazy.
Yeah.
And all over the place and scattered. Because it's for Juggalos. For Juggalos, but it's the FUBU of the Juggalos. But she was walking around just everything out. And she had a big sign that said, I can't remember everything, but it's like I had a whole menu. And it was like $5 to squeeze my tit, $10 to smack my ass, 20 to motorboat me, ask me about my other content, ask for other things, ? Basically just hoeing.
Yeah.
Which I respect it. I support sex work.
Yeah.
I bet she made money. I also, for a moment, thought I saw a woman with Down syndrome's breasts, and I'm not 100% sure I didn't. I just remembered that just now. So this girl, and this might be offensive to say, but she looked like she had Down syndrome in first glance. I looked at her and I was like, Down syndrome. She has no shirt on. She was just walking around with a cardboard sign over her naked chest that just said LSD $5 a hit.
Wow.
Yeah, and in order to buy LSD from this woman, she had to take that sign down, show you her tits, get it out, take the money, thanks, and then put the sign back up. It was honestly a clever business plan. If you have like a Down syndrome king, because she again looked like she had Down syndrome. And like I saw her like 5 times, and I had to like really look the second and third time to be like, all right, I think she's just unattractive. But I still am not 100% sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh God, what else was there? There was a bunny walking around. Oh, the fucking West fucking nitrous thing. So there was that fucking camper that was selling the fucking nitrous balloons. Mm-hmm. Wes thought it was helium.
Oh no.
So he looks at Max and goes, hey Max, you want to go get some helium? And Max is like, fucking bet. And they start walking over to go give this man money for a balloon full of nitrous that they think is going to be helium. Me and Pippin had to stop him, and we're like explaining to Max, like, dude, like, that's not
you adorable naive
helium.
boys.
Like, that's nitrous. That make car go fast. You know what I mean?
Also make brain go dumb. Only for like 10 seconds. But
yeah, it's for like a solid 26 seconds, but it's like, it's a fun 22 seconds.
It is.
I've never actually done nitrous.
I've done it once, and it was...
I've done whippets. It's why I know the effect. Like, I've done whippets off of like a CO2 cartridge, and obviously I used to do it off air dusters all the time.
Not the same. It is like pure nitrous oxide is like... I mean, the sensory experience of that shit is wild. Your face feels concave and everything just very much so like that stereotypical, like when a drug hits you and everything goes pew. That's nitrous. It's awesome.
That sounds pretty cool.
It wears off pretty fast, but it's like,
I don't know.
You're not damaging your body necessarily. 'Cause like obviously the lack of oxygen for a breath, you know, you're not supposed to do that, but like it's not fucking your brain up. They used to use, I think they still use nitrous at like dentist office and shit. So
oh yeah. No, in summation, oh no. So I wanted to tell you, they gave us a golf cart, right?
Yeah.
The first thing she says, and she said, and I cannot, her name was Hannah. She was our handler. She was very sweet. I liked her very much. She was a Lord of the Rings nerd. It was pretty cool. She said, I cannot stress this enough. If you're not sitting in this golf cart, take the key out because it will disappear the second that you walk away from it.
Makes sense.
She said, you leave that key in there, this thing is gone and you will not get it back for the rest of the night. And we were like, probably true. And sure enough, like there was somebody I heard got their fucking golf cart stolen.
Yep.
I was like, bro, I want to steal a golf cart. I think that would be fun.
Especially if you get yours stolen, it's like, all right, well, I'm stealing the next one I can then.
I went to go to the bathroom at like 4 a.m. And this is gross, and I'm sorry about this, but it's exactly what you expect. I went to go to the bathroom at like 4 a.m. and there was just this fucking shit smeared. Like it's like somebody shat on it, like a fucking drop, like a
clump.
Like a, you know how like when you go to the Thanksgiving, somebody pops out the Buckeyes, and there's like 2 of them kind of like mushed together, like that size of a shit. And it was just kind of like smeared across the back. It's like, this feels personal. Like it was like it's like there was intent with this.
You like war painted your shit into this thing.
Yeah. I literally waited till we got to Denny's to go to the bathroom later because I was like, I'm not.
Yeah, that's gross.
Somebody was like, oh, they cleaned them. I was like, cool. I've already seen too much.
Yeah.
I will say you know how like you'd be like, I bet this place smells like this, ha ha ha, or like you think you know what something smells like, then you experience it, and it's kind of not the same thing.
I don't know what Juggalos smell like, so
I'm gonna tell you right now, the gathering of the Juggalos smells exactly what you think it is. It's actually astonishing how identical my concept of how the gathering of the Juggalos could smell actually smelled. Like it was 100% dead nuts. Nostradamus of nasal predictions over here.
Nostradamus,
bro. I'm accidentally a genius. What's up? You got me there. Appreciate it. My brain don't work no more. You know what we should talk about? Pat Sada's love for you.
All right.
That boy loves you so much.
I love Pat Sada so much. So.
We went in and we were there for like 10 minutes. He goes, "How's Dylan?" I was like, "He's good, man." Blah 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 blah. He was like, "I fucking love that guy, dude. I fucking love him so much. He's just such a good guy. You know what I mean? He's just so cool. And his music, I was doing so much time." And, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, "Oh my God, you fucking love Dylan, dude." And he looks at me and goes, "I love him." And I was like, "He fucking loves you, dude."
Hell yeah.
It's kind of cute. You know what I mean? Like not like in a gay way, but in like aw, he loves him. You know, like when you see like a dog and a cat be friends, it's kind of like that.
I'm gonna hit up Pat Sada.
Did you have him tattooed?
I will. I would love to have that.
I got your back, bro. I did try to like slowly like try to convince him to play bass for you guys.
Oh, that would be so great. He's got so much going on there. There's no way he'd be able to make time.
That's exactly what he was saying. He lives so far away and it's so fucking much, blah, 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 blah. He's like, I don't have a lot of time. I was like, listen, man, they don't play shows at the moment and they only practice 1 day a week. And I'm pretty sure you would have to be there for every one of those.
Yeah, right now we don't really practice. It's just writing.
Yeah,
we're just cranking out as much music as we can.
You just show up,
and eventually we're going to practice all of it live. But like right now, it's just we've spent like the past year and a half doing nothing but recording.
It's not that time demanding, Pat. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying you can make it work, and you already know you like the music.
You can already have the job. Personality
literally all you have to do is walk in and be like, I'll do it.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's not going to hear this, but if he does, he'll know how much you love him. Dude, he loves you so much. We walked in because obviously I went to have him tattoo me, and he asked Alyssa what she wanted. She told him. He goes, "What about you? What are you thinking?" I was like, "Ah." He goes, "Well, you're getting tattooed, right?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, what do you want to do?" I was like, "What do you want to do?" He goes, "I don't know, man." And we started looking through his books because he's doing like flash books right now.
Yeah.
So we started looking through his books. He goes, "Oh, I really like that one." I was like, "We can do whatever you want, man." He goes, "I kind of really want to do this one." And I was like, "Fucking run
Let's go."
He prints it out and goes, "I think this should be a good size." I was like, "Okay." He goes, "Actually, I like, how, you want to try the biggest one?" I was like, "Listen, man, I'll do whatever you want." I'm literally.
Whatever you're willing to put on my skin right now.
Yeah. Whatever you want. So he got so excited. He did Alyssa's. He did mine. It hurt like shit. But I did. I was glad that I did the one that I did because I wanted to test my pain tolerance anyway. That's why I chose a spot that was like more sensitive than most, but not so crazy. Because I was gonna do something behind my ear, and I was like, I should probably make sure I can handle a tattoo because my whole nerve shit after chemo.
Yeah.
So like I was like, let's do like somewhere more sensitive. So I was like, I'm gonna do it on the side of my calf. Plus, I knew it wasn't gonna be super big, and I wanted to be able to have it somewhere where I could tie it to something else, and it doesn't take up too much real estate for a bigger piece. Whatever. Anyway, but I also love negative space. And it's so hard for me to not just commit to just doing my entire body in negative space.
I agree. It's my favorite. It's my favorite style.
Like I've already decided, like just off of like one conversation with Pat and the way this one turned out, that I'm gonna let him do an entire Hanya.
Yeah.
Like did I already say that on here?
Not on here.
Oh, okay. I was like, I feel like I already said this, but no, I'm probably gonna do a couple. Well, it's probably gonna be more just like just kind of like a Japanese traditional negative space sleeve that I'm just gonna let him do.
Cool.
But I'm probably gonna have him do a Buddha on my calf, which I'll have ideas for. It's probably pretty cool. But no, I'm just gonna have Pat do my whole leg before he's too expensive for me to be able to go get tattoos from him.
That would be dope.
You actually should hit him up though. He said he's still got space and stuff, so you could probably go get him.
Absolutely will.
We tipped him I mean, it wasn't a whole lot. I think we gave him $50 each.
Yeah.
Or we gave him $50.
Oh, I'm definitely going to throw some cash for that.
We gave him $50. Yeah, between the two of us, I think we gave him 50. It doesn't fucking matter. We tipped him, but the work was free. And also, his boss is cool as shit. His mentor's the guy who owns the shop. He's so cool. I talked to him for a minute.
Hell yeah.
He's been tattooing for a minute. He also is a chemical engineer.
Wow.
Yeah, he'll be here. He'll be on here when Pat comes on here, whenever that is. Spoiler alert.
Dope. That's going to be a great episode.
When are you getting tattooed again? We just talked about it.
Right now, everything, it's just about money. I know what I want to get. I've got a couple of piece ideas, whether I want to go big or not quite as expensive and smaller.
Do what I did. Just go get a random Pat Seda tattoo.
I'll do that too.
Totally do that.
But right now it's a money thing, and I could have bought myself a shitload of tattoos at this point, but I've instead invested that money into instruments, equipment,
priorities,
cameras.
That's the reason why I don't have tattoos. So I put all of my money into dumb shit because I'm bad with money. It's like, bills.
Yeah, I'm building a business that will hopefully make me enough money one day to just be covered in tattoos and not worry about it.
Yeah. My plan is I think I'm just going to start, just get really good at finding apprenticing tattoos.
Just tattoo nothing artists. But like baby tattoo artist pieces.
Just honestly just have whole sleeves, just having like different fucking apprentices like compiling.
Bro, have you seen that like hexagonal piece collection tattoo idea? I saw this.
Where it's like a honeycomb with different.
Yeah, and every honeycomb gets its own artist. Like you go to an artist and have them fill in one of them. So you have like a whole sleeve and it's all different artists like patched together. I thought that was a cool idea.
Speaking of Pat, fun fact, he told me he would bring his equipment here and tattoo us for bonus content. And I told him we would tip him.
That would be dope.
We could do that.
I wonder if he can do knuckle. I need to get these touched so bad.
I mean, I'm sure he could touch those up for you. I'm sure he could touch those up for you. But hold on. Hold that thought. So yeah, I asked him, I was like, we wanted to do it with Jasmine, but it was going to be a whole ordeal going to the shop and all this other stuff. He's like, dude, I'll come to you guys. I was like, we'll set it up.
For sure.
Like, honestly, what I'm thinking about doing when we book him and be is like, for the bonus content, do you and Josh just want to tattoo us? And we'll just get
that would be fucking dope.
We'll just figure out a tattoo idea that's super small and something we can both get. We'll just have a matching Millsuck something.
I kind of don't want to make that exclusive content. I would kind of want that to just be like, I want people to be able to see that one. That's exciting. That's fun. It promotes them a little bit.
We'll talk about that off camera.
Sure.
For sure. That's not a conversation we're having right now. But.
So I forgot we were doing an actual episode right now and was just talking to you.
Dude, honestly, it'd be like that. I'm honestly thinking about just going for like 2 hours and you could just figure it the fuck out.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, how far are we into this one?
58. Pretty much an hour.
Okay, so we got about a half hour left on this. Let's talk about. Let me see your hand.
Which one?
Is it strange walking around with a tattoo that another human also has?
No.
This doesn't feel strange. You don't look at it and go, "It's strange."
No, we had a conversation about that. I've talked to several people about this.
I mean this specifically in a romantic sense because me and my brother have a matching tattoo. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, matching tattoos are crazy, which I mean, they're corny and I know that and I have one because I know that for a fact. I was just curious, like being a previous romantic situation.
I don't look at it as being representative of the romantic relationship itself. When I think about matching tattoos between two people, I think about that tattoo representing a time in your life.
That's what Pat said.
You might match with somebody else. The thing is, like, the meaning behind the relationship or, that person's meaning to you can change over time. What never, ever, ever goes away, and it doesn't matter how things change in the future, is how that relationship was experienced at that time. That never goes away. This tattoo is a representation of that time.
That's fair.
Not of that person.
That's fair. How did you guys even decide on that?
She designed it.
Oh, nice. What is it?
It's a lotus.
Oh, what's behind it?
Just like geometric shaped kind of stuff.
Nice. You start a whole tattoo sleeve based on that.
Basically,
just walk out here with just like a whole scale.
My plan is to do my negative space sleeve over here. So
be a negative creep. It's a Nirvana reference.
It is.
It's a callback to a reference I made earlier. I'm kind of a genius.
Bar God.
Not even close. Oh God.
So why are you on so many medications?
Oh. Yeah, so Saturday, we're at, the birthday party for Moshly and Alex, and I was eating a taco, and I got this fucking searing pain in my mouth/jaw, and I was just like, oh, fuck, absolutely not. And I was like, it was a lot. Like, it was super bad. Like, it was one of, like, top 5, at least, worst pain I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, mouth pain is awful, dude.
It was like your boy was in, like, we'll get to this part anyway. So like, and after like 20 minutes or so, like, it was fine. I was just worried about it. So I was like, all right, I probably just won't eat for the rest of the night. Try to, like, whatever, figure it out. And then Monday morning at work, I'm there for 45 minutes talking, and I'm just in the middle of a conversation with Steele about football or some shit. And my mouth just started, like, getting, like, really, like, uncomfortable. And then I was like, I'm going to go, I went to try to, like, find some ibuprofen because we have, like, a first aid thing. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I'm gonna go find some ibuprofen. I'll be back in a minute. And then, like, we didn't have any, so I'm, like, looking see if I had any, like, that I just forgot to take or whatever, sitting on my work cart. And as I'm doing that, like, I just feel this it just starts like crescendoing in my face it's just like a crescendo of agony in my face. And I was like, oh, fuck. So I finally go to John's office and my boss, and I'm like, hey, dude, can I just get, like, a couple of your, because he has Aleve or Advil or some shit. And he gave me a couple of them, and I took them. And then, like, it's like fucking 10 minutes later, I was like, dude, I got to go. I was like, I'm going to the emergency room. Alyssa called off work to meet me there because I couldn't talk. Bro, I was in the fucking emergency room just fucking, like legitimately, like, prepared to murder, but also couldn't murder because I physically could not peel my hand off the side of my face. I was literally, like, squeezing my head and just fucking, like, writhing. I have
been in that pain before.
It sucked, bro. But that's why I'm on so many medications. I have a painkiller. I have 2 different I have oxycodone. I have a pseudometaph.
Yep.
Basically Tylenol, but it's like 500 milligrams or some shit of, like, pure Tylenol, I guess, as opposed to regular. I don't fucking know, dude.
Yeah, they got that extra strength shit.
I've got an antibiotic, and I've got naproxen, which is a anti-swelling agent. So it's like an Aleve. And then I also have been fighting a cold all fucking week. And so I've also been on, cough medicine and fucking cough drops as well. So your boy is just operating exclusively on, manufactured products.
On top of, like, just being, like, pretty freshly post-gathering.
Dude.
You just got a lot going on right now.
So I got a cold. So obviously I have a cold sore.
Mm-hmm.
It popped up, like, 2 days after the gathering. I was like, you go to the gathering for 24 hours and you leave with a fucking cold sore. That's crazy. It's exactly what you would expect to happen. And then I felt like I got hit by a train, and I was like, all right, well, this makes much more sense now.
Mm.
Alyssa thinks it's an abscess, though. So we'll fucking see. I go to the dentist tomorrow.
But are you going to the dentist and a psychiatrist tomorrow?
Yeah.
You're having a great day tomorrow.
Like I said, it's going to be a bang up day for your boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing a new psychiatrist at 10:30, and then I'm seeing a new dentist at 3.
That's going to be a day.
I'm going to kill myself tomorrow, or I'm going to become the strongest entity that exists.
The only 2 options.
I'm either going to die tomorrow or this weekend, or I'm going to come out the other side just as overpowered as, like, Sun Wukong is.
Bro, have you seen the new gameplay?
Bro, I just found out that was a game today. I'm so mad because I would play the fuck out of it, but they don't have it for PS4. They only have it for PS5. And I'm not buying a PS5. I don't game enough to justify it.
Man, I've been watching the gameplay videos. It looks incredible.
It's also a great story. I love Sun Wukong.
The opening scene alone is fucking amazing. Visually incredible.
So do you know what power scaling is? Like for like anime characters and video games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's where they like compare feats and stuff like that. They use like actual physics and shit to try and figure out.
Who's
so
stronger.
There's this dude, I can't remember his name, but he's like super known for being like, basically he's like a mathematician in his actual life.
Yeah.
So he's like so meticulous. He has basically the most accurate like power scalings. He power scaled Wukong, and every single time he's like talking about like the most powerful beings, he always comes to the end and he's like, but he still loses to Wukong.
Yeah. Bro, that's like I found out
the most broken fucking mythology character ever.
I found out Toriyama based Goku off of him. Oh, and I was
dude,
like, that's so cool. Like Dragon Ball in general.
Yeah, like I was saying, like all of the original Dragon Ball is very heavily fucking like I was listening to that mythology podcast because I've been a fan of Wukong for a grip. And I was listening to an episode they did on him. And like just halfway through it, I was just like, dude, this really is just Goku's life.
Yeah.
It just is Goku, dude. Like not the whole thing, but like from like, do you know the whole story of like Sun Wukong?
Not the whole story.
It's
roughly.
like there's a comeuppance, and then there's like a second act where like he gets in trouble, and then he has to like redeem himself and go on this whole journey. If you go with like the redemption journey part, right? It's just Goku, dude. It's just Goku. Toriyama just made a fucking Sun Wukong anime and called it Dragon Ball Z. That's pretty much all it is. I mean, there's a lot of very key differences, so that's a very overreach for me to say that. But
I've been hearing like a lot of people talking about the game have talked about how fascinated they are with the story of Journey to the West in general. And I really want to read that now.
I do too. I've been thinking about getting it on Audible. I have like 3 free credits.
Yeah.
I was saving them up because I was going to do a crash course on philosophy books, but also I want to read a lot of other books.
Yeah, if you can find yourself a good philosophy anthology with just a bunch of philosophers all together.
That's my plan, is try to find some collections.
Yeah. Yeah. Easiest way to crash course that shit. And Western philosophy is, boy, there's some in there that
I'm obsessed with Western philosophy. I just don't understand a lot of it because I don't know a lot. You know how I am? Like I have to know. Like you can't tell me anything until you've told me the origin story. Like I can't comprehend anything about anything until I know the basics and all that shit. Like that. So I'm literally.
That's the best way to learn philosophy anyway, because you want to start with the Greeks.
I need to literally start. Like I'm not necessarily like in time periods, but just like Western philosophy, for example, it's really difficult. Like I could start with the Greeks for sure because I've read and watched and seen and know so much about Greek culture and like where things come from that I can read their philosophy. Same with the Romans. That's the reason why like I fuck with meditation so much.
Yeah.
It's because I already know pretty much how that entire culture operated. I don't know. I'm learning that like in this past like week after having this fucking tattoo that I know nothing about like Western culture at all. Like I know a few things here and there, a few little tidbits that anime has taught me and a few things that some podcasts have taught me, but I don't know shit about the West other than by like Sun Wukong and the story of like Amaterasu and Susanoo and all them. Like I know their creation myth with Izanagi and Izanami and all that, but as far as like the culture itself, I get so confused the second we start talking about it.
Yeah.
So like I want to get into Western like philosophy really badly, but I also need to understand like the context in which it was written.
So what like
culturally, does that make sense? Like culturally,
no, I understand, and like because I approached it in a very chaotic way and kind of had to piece things together and understand like get a bigger picture over time. Now I can give like. I'm not going to say that I'm knowledgeable enough to recommend how you go about this, but you can kind of think about it in like a couple of pretty big chunks because you've got like the Greeks and you've got the Romans. The fall of Rome leads to the Dark Ages. You already know that. Basically, the Dark Ages operated for all of like, you know, whatever 1,000 years or whatever it was after the fall of Rome on Aristotle's philosophy and religion. Like those are the like Christianity and Catholicism like went super hard into like, hey, believe what we tell you or we'll kill you type shit during the Dark Ages. That was part of it, but yeah. And they based civilization off of like Aristotle's philosophy, because he wrote, all like Aristotle, his Ethics and the Republic, Aristotle's Republic, or Plato's Republic. I mean, those guys pretty much decided how the world operated over that period of time. And then once you start breaking out of like the hyper religious side of those things, you start getting into what is the 1700s, when we start getting into like, or 1600s, we start getting into like science and shit like that. I forget what that period is called now. It's that weird Latin word for light, whatever. And then you start getting into the ones that are super confusing.
I'm sorry. My brain went somewhere. I got to the Dark Ages part. And then we talked about the Crusade thing. You said that was part of it. And then I missed everything you said after that.
Chunks of learning philosophy. Time-wise. On a timeline.
Gotcha.
Greeks. There's some pre-Greek stuff, obviously, that they based a lot of their stuff on.
Obviously.
But you can start Western philosophy at Greece and get a pretty good handle on what's going on. Then that goes into Rome. Rome falls, and that goes to the Dark Ages.
Did I say Western philosophy this whole time?
Yes.
I've been meaning to say Eastern philosophy.
Oh.
Listen to me. Your hand. I am stupid. I've been meaning to say, like, I'm super interested in Eastern philosophy.
Eastern philosophy is fantastic,
but I don't understand anything about the culture. Like I still get confused, like, regionally. Mm-hmm. Like, because that area, if you don't know anything about it, but you know bits and pieces of it like I do, is fucking confusing. And the timeline of Japan, from at least my perspective of what I know about it, is fucking confusing.
Is there any specific part of Eastern philosophy that you're trying to learn? Like,
I just want to learn it. Mostly, I want to learn about like Taoism and Zen Buddhism and stuff like that.
So you want to look, because I have also looked into that,
like the Alan Watts shit.
Yeah, so Alan Watts is a good place to start with it, because it's become stereotypical to listen to Alan Watts. But he actually does a very, very good job of translating it in a way that Western people can understand. And like the big difference there.
The problem that I have with that, because I've been meaning to listen to Alan Watts, is that I run into this confliction in my brain. And this might just be my own ignorance, right? But it's like, I look about it like the Bible being similar to how like the Bible was like kind of ruined the second it was translated. You know what I mean? It's like, I kind of feel like when the second you have to dial back, right, the concept of something for a different demographic, right, it's already changed foundationally.
See, here's the thing, though, is that if you want to do it the way that the Eastern philosophy wants you to do it, you'll understand it if you start listening to it and piecing this stuff together. Because again, like, I've been doing this for like 10 plus years now. Like, Eastern stuff fascinated me super hard. And there's a joke that several of those guys, including Alan Watts, makes. He's like, when you start trying to figure this stuff out, you'll either get it in 3 seconds or it's going to take you 30 years. Like, for some people, it's just like, oh, I get it. And for some people, they're just like, I don't fucking understand what you're trying to get at here. They use weird things, like weird sayings and stuff that doesn't make sense on purpose to try to get their point across to you, because they want you to have this internal experience of like, oh,
like you figure it out. If you have to figure it out, then it really just kind of sets. Okay, that actually kind of makes a lot of sense.
Yes, and that's what, like, people go away to live.
And then I run into this problem. Like, start with Alan Watts. All right, cool. Where? Because I have to start to the closest thing I can conceive to being the beginning.
I can give you the book. It's an audio book. It's a collection of some of his like most essential talks. I listen to it all the time.
You know how when you want to learn like a thing or a sport, it's like you got to get you get the fundamentals, and you iron those out, and the best plan you can have is just become the best fundamentally you can be before you start trying to do any extraness.
Yeah.
Try to find the fundamentals.
Yeah. Alan Watts is great for giving you the fundamentals. And he makes another joke about this, where he was talking to one of like his Buddhist masters, and they were discussing books that explain this to people in the West. Because for years before Alan Watts came along, Suzuki is another guy who wrote books for Western people trying
Suzuki?
Suzuki.
Nice. They make a good motorcycle.
Yeah.
I'm a Gixxer guy. I don't own one. I just wish I did.
Alan Watts was doing his thing in like the 50s, 60s, 70s in that area. Back in like the 30s, you had Suzuki, who was trying to do basically the same thing. And Alan Watts took a lot of his inspiration from Suzuki's writing. So you can go pre-Alan Watts if you want to. Before that, there really wasn't a lot of translation to the West of these concepts. So like it's still within the past like 100 years or so is when the West started really becoming interested in these Eastern philosophies. That's why they're just now, like in the past couple decades, a lot of the practices that they use in the East have started to become part of our like psychiatric treatment. Like when you go learn mindfulness and like, you know, when they teach you, like I learned this, the reason I started getting into this stuff was because I started going to a psychiatrist about my anxiety and panic disorder.
Right.
The stuff that he was teaching me in order to like calm my anxiety and panic is basically mindfulness, meditation, you know, just sitting, like get the past and the future out of your head, just experience what's happening right now. Center yourself in this moment. Nothing else exists right now. Get that out. That is all stuff that the East has been doing for thousands of years. And our modern understanding of it in the West, we've been like, oh, this is super useful for treating mental illness if you use it consistently. You can change the way your brain works. And
so what you're saying is always have an Asian therapist. Is that racist to say? You should edit that out.
Actually
you should edit that out. I don't want people to think you're racist for saying that.
Yeah. No, I'm going to leave it in. I want people to know
the real you.
That the person who said that. Are you sure
that's risky?
I want them to know, like really truly know the person who said it.
All right. Well, they're going to get to know you real well when they hear you say that shit. Well, I said it. You implied it.
Okay.
It's like when you say the N-word instead of just saying the N-word, how you kind of just imply it to the other person's brain. Like I said, you did that for me with
I want them to know the person who said it.
Listen, I support Asian culture. Stop Asian hate.
For sure.
I watched that A24 show. Well, part of it with... I like Ali Wong. Huge fan of karate.
You sound so not racist right now. Like so incredibly not racist.
I'm appreciative of the culture is what I'm saying.
No,
I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima right now.
Honestly, like
I have a mask tattoo. I'm clearly the most supportive of
you're definitely
Asian culture.
Not appropriating it whatsoever.
I'm appropriating the shit out of it. Honestly, like I'm gonna be honest with you, like all jokes aside, because those were jokes. I love Asian people. Probably one of my favorite race of people. But like I appropriate the shit out of Asian culture, bro.
You've been out here an anime nerd for a long time.
Bruh. I've been out here just Naruto running, ironically, for years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have a fucking Hanya mask on my fucking leg just because I told my friend, hey, do whatever you want. Now it's fucking sick. You know what I mean? I fucking love Japanese culture and I know nothing about it. That in itself just feels like it's not directly cultural appropriation, but that's the exact mindset you have to be dumbly appropriating a culture. Luckily, though, the Japanese culture is all about sharing culture, so they don't look at it that way. However, angry white people have stuff to say about it. For sure. Also, they let me have a Hanya mask on my leg for 3 days before they let me know that John, my boss, also has a Hanya mask tattoo on his leg.
Huh.
His is much bigger and in color, but I was like, cool.
Fantastic.
It's funny because there's like a little joke that because he's very verbally abusive, like playfully.
Mm-hmm.
He always calls me his guy. So there's like a joke that I'm like this little slave boy. It's not really like they don't say that I said that. But it's kind of like the vibe of the running joke about our dynamic. So now I just worry that like if there's ever a time where like I come in on an off day for like my paycheck or something and I'm wearing shorts and he's in there wearing shorts, people are just going to be like, oh, look, he even tattooed his little guy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so concerned that he's going to like be like, that's his little guy. Look at his leg. It's a whole little guy over there. But
now, dude, I think the hardest part of grasping Eastern philosophy for Western people is that we are literally, like, culturally all the way back to the way that we are taught to view ourselves in the world is opposite level different. And you have to look at the things that they're saying from a lens that is so foreign to a Western mind, because like, you know, like we tend to, like, not us specifically, but in the West, you hear people talk about coming into this world. You know, like there's this feeling that we were like put here. Our souls are from somewhere else and we get put into this place. Like we don't actually belong here. The Eastern mind.
That sounds like Scientology.
So more points to Eastern philosophy, the opposite of Scientology. So you're going in the right direction.
Scientology's crazy.
No, that's one of the things Alan Watts talks about. He's like, Eastern children are taught, you didn't come into this world. You came out of this world. You grew from it. That seems like a very basic difference, but that perspective shift makes a lot. It comes with a lot of things that kind of change the way you interact with the world that you wouldn't realize in other ways. And when you're looking at Eastern philosophy, understand that they're looking at themselves. This is why I've always said that I love Eastern philosophy, because it's the closest philosophy. Like when it comes to religion, the Buddhist and Hindu philosophies come the closest to what science actually says, because they, like, one of their core precepts is that you are not a separate entity from the rest of the world, the rest of the universe, the rest of people. It's all one giant thing. You are just one piece of that giant thing. You were not put here from somewhere else. You're not some foreign invader in the universe. You're not some scourge of the earth. This earth grows people, and you are one of those, the fruits of that growth.
Also, lightweight, the most scientific approach.
Exactly. We are made of the exact same thing as everything else.
It's an oversimplification, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's exactly how this actually works.
Okay, so what you're telling me is Zen Buddhism will teach me what the universe expands into.
Honestly, they'll probably give you an equally confusing answer to that question. Because science will just say, we don't know. Buddhism will say, it's expanding into exactly what it is inside. Like, what's outside of it and inside of it are all the same thing. It doesn't matter.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It does matter, though. It matters so much. Anyway, we're at what?
Like 120, somewhere around there.
Let's say 120, 120. It says
125.
Fuck, dude, my brain is fucked up, dog. Like, I myself do not feel like heavily intoxicated. Like, I'm fine, right? Mm-hmm. But my brain is just from, like, it's not even just the pain pills. You know what I mean? It's just the conglomerate of outside chemicals that have been inside of my brain for so many days, dude. I just feel so out of it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Can understand why. That's a lot.
Yeah, it did make me more meticulous at work. I was just like
more focused?
Yeah, just like, dude, you got to pay attention or you're going to fuck up.
It took so much more energy, though, I'm sure.
Oh, my God. I've been tired all week.
Yeah, I know, dude, when the one time I've experienced that level of jaw pain, when I had to get my wisdom teeth taken out up in the top, the one popped out fine, like zero effort. The other one, the dude was cranking, like trying to pull it out of my skull to the point where, like, I was pulling back against him to try to help him. Like, I was numbed up. I couldn't feel shit. So, like, we were both, he was putting all of his downward arm strength, and I was putting all of my upward neck strength together to try to get this tooth out, and it wouldn't come out. And the tooth shattered. Like in his pliers, he shattered the tooth. And he's like, okay, I can no longer extract this because the roots are still in there, but it's in pieces inside your gums right now. I'm going to numb you up one more time, and then you need to haul ass. I'm going to call an oral surgeon who's like, I forget how far away. You need to get there as soon as you possibly can and have him extract the rest of this, because he's going to have to cut you open, go in there, and pull the pieces out. On the way...
Story is legitimately making my mouth hurt.
On the way there, the numbing wore off. I have a shattered wisdom tooth inside my gums.
I'd rather be shot.
Bro, I wanted to die. I have never, before or after that experience...
Oh my God, it's literally making my mouth hurt thinking about it.
Had pain that intense. My brother was with me. I was in his passenger seat. He's driving just like...
Your brother drives like a psychopath.
I don't know.
Normally,
I'm just getting there as fast as I can. I am writhing in the passenger seat. Like, I want to not exist.
Yeah, that's how I felt Monday.
Oh my God.
That's how I felt Monday. It probably wasn't as bad as your situation because you had a little minor explosion in your mouth. But like, legitimately, like, I was like... If they don't do something about this, I'm not going to make it the 2 hours before an emergency dentist opens. It's like, if the hospital doesn't do something about this, I'm going to go home and shoot myself in the fucking head. Like, it was miserable, dude. Like, it was crazy bad.
Dude, I've had women tell me that toothaches are worse than delivering a baby.
Yeah, women lie all the time.
But dude, like, no, mouth pain just is that fucked.
On the plus side, all the fuck shit was at the end of the episode. Everybody's already gone. Who gives a fuck?
All right, we closing this thing out?
We may as well figure out, take a quick $5, come back and figure out the fuck we're going to do for bonus content.
Might as well just get naked, I guess.
Maybe just look up Mad Libs or something. We actually could do that.
Honestly, sounds like a good time.
Would we have to write them down? I guess we could screenshot
just the
them.
Answers, maybe.
Well, we could screenshot them and then just do each other's. Like, so like we could screenshot a Mad Lib and then like whoever's reading it has the pit at bad. And you just write down their answers.
We're doing that.
Read it back at the end. Well, you want to do that?
We're doing that.
Bet. Yep. We'll take 5 and then
we're doing that.
All right, bet. Well, for the non OnlyFans subscribers, you know, the fucking lames, this is it for us. And you. So you should subscribe to our OnlyFans. Shout out to Foreman Creative. Shout out to the Bump Yard. You've been great. We've been great. You have anything else to add?
No, sir, I do not.
Well, then, goddamn it, if you don't mind.
As always.